Hello children, how are you all? Hope everybody is keeping yourself safe and healthy at your home. Yes, again lockdown started. Yes, so keep yourself safe, beta, all of you at your home. Don't come out of your houses, okay? Okay, so in the last class we started civics chapter 2 federalism, okay? And in federalism we discussed many topics, okay? And at last we had discussed that what make India a federal country, isn't it? So in that we discussed about union list, state list, concurrent list and all. Yes, so as I said before, nowhere it is said that India is a federal country. Then what makes us a federal country? We are federal because we have union list, state list and concurrent list. So because of these lists we are federal. Yes. Secondly, we are federal because in our country central holds more power than the state. Yes, at the same time some states are there which are having different requirements, different needs. Okay, so to them what we did is we had given thoda sa special power de diya hai unko. Okay, so that's we can say that they are having little bit more power, thoda sa. Okay, so that state was Jammu and Kashmir. So Jammu and Kashmir had a special provision. It had a separate constitution also, and anybody who was not the permanent member of Jammu and Kashmir could not buy any property. Now this all happens earlier, not now. Okay, so you know that now Jammu and Kashmir is no longer a state; it is a union territory. Yes, but the concept is that if there is a need, then we give special status also to a state. Okay, at the same time we had special criteria for union territory also. Union territory are such places where actually they are very small to be an independent states, but at the same time they are very diverse, isn't it? Very sweet. Okay, so we can't make them a city, so we give them a special place, that is a union territory. Okay, a central has more power on them. Central take decisions for them also. Okay, Chandigarh, Lakshadweep and Delhi are the union territories, and by this we realize that India is holding together federation. Okay, two types of federation also you learned. So India is a holding together federation, that is thoda sa ज़्यादा power है. Okay, now how to bring changes in the power sharing? See, now suppose we want to change this power structure of the constitution. How we will change? क्या central do it alone? No. क्या states do it alone? No. Both of them has to come together and follow the procedure of two steps. Okay, that is first we can say that both the houses, that is upper house and lower house, have to pass the resolution, have to pass the change in the power structure with 2/3 majority. Okay, number 2 is at least 50% of the Indian states have to be ratified, that is has to given their consent to change, and when so many people from both the houses are giving consent, then only there will be a change in power sharing. Okay, otherwise no change. Okay, and here role of judiciary is also there. Obviously judiciary is umpire. Yes, so if there is any dispute between the power sharing structure of India, then judiciary will enter into the picture, isn't it, and give its verdict. At the same time the language of constitution is somewhat different, and we need judiciary to implement and to interpret and tell us what is the next one. Yes, judiciary is useful everywhere, but if we talk about finance, where this finance come from? The central government and the state government are free to revive taxes on us, poor citizens of the country, isn't it? Yes? No, not so poor actually. Yes, so we are imposed by taxes, and those taxes go to the government and then they make welfare policies for us. So our money is used by the government, which is beneficiary to us only, isn't it? Right? All of you clear this much? Now comes how is federalism practiced? Okay, whenever we found federalism, we are not seeing the federalism. It is neither written in the constitution. But when you will study about our politics, when you will see the practices of our democracy, you will find that we are definitely very federal. Yes, we have to respect for the diversity. We have desires for living together. These all is a part of federation only. Okay, so three experiments were did in our country through which we understand that definitely India is federal. Okay, so experiment number one, we can say linguistic states. Okay, this was the first of the major test for democratic politics of India. Why? This was very risky. Since 1947, boundaries of some states have changed. Okay, some states came like Telangana in 2014, isn't it? And it was risky because no matter how beautiful the concept is, that all people speaking same languages should be put together and they should be happy together. That is, diversity should be preserved. So the objectives are really very, very sweet, isn't it? Nagaland, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand are all these states are formed on these objectives, these ideal goal. Okay, but people had their fear about it. In fact, our own ministers were doubtful that it would lead to disintegration. That is, टूट के बिखर ना जाए India. Okay, they are having this fear. But the case was risky, so central government took the risk. But now we are happy, isn't it? In fact, linguistic division of state had helped to strengthen our democracy. At the same time, administration becomes more easy also. Yes, so risky case, risky experiment, but wonderful, wonderful success we got, isn't it? Now next comes language policy. Okay, language policy. Now something very, very important, that is, India does not have any national language. Okay, yes, our constitution says that we don't have any national language. Okay, maybe जो भी आपको बताया कि हिंदी is our national language, okay, mother said, father said, whosoever, but in our constitution nowhere it is said that we have any national language. Okay, you can also think, how can we have national language? Because we have a democratic country. Yes, so many languages are there in our country. How one language can be pushed? So we can't give any push to a particular language, isn't it? So India does not have any national language. In fact, we have scheduled language. We have, that is, 22 scheduled languages are there, and Hindi is just one of them. And of course, bacha, Hindi is spoken by most of the people. Okay, but only 40% of India's population speaks Hindi. Rest of them, that is 60% majority, they don't know Hindi at all. Okay, at the same time we have two official languages, that is Hindi and English. Okay, Hindi and English, they both are our official languages. Now we can take the case of 1965. That is, so once central government tried to keep English out of it, that is, out of official language. Central government tried to do this. Okay, that English we will keep it aside, we will keep only Hindi as our official language. But southern part of India, who does not understand Hindi that much, they had definitely protested. Yeah, especially in Tamil Nadu. Okay, protest became little bit violent also. Okay, but the result of the protest was very good. That is, central government did understand that bhaiya, only Hindi language cannot be pushed. Okay, we have to accept our colonial parts, we have to accept that English is spoken in India, we have to accept that South Indian does not do Hindi, and we have to keep one more official language, that is English. Okay, so again we got two official languages, Hindi and English. So this shows that India is definitely federal. Clear, bachas, everybody till here? Okay, so next part I'll keep in next video. Thank you so much. God bless you all.